Okay, welcome to our third Tuesday at 10 new parent kind of orientation meeting for you. The previous two were about some school basics, and then last week we studied carpool and looked at our carpool maps. Today is just briefly about the first day of school. I don't have a presentation for you, just going to talk a little bit, and then we're going to answer questions. I have four or five, I believe, that have come in over the forms question. But if you'd like to ask one that we don't cover from those ones that were previously submitted, you can type them in the chat box, and I'll be monitoring that to answer your questions today to help you get off to a great start tomorrow on our first day of school. So I'm excited about that. Just some general reminders about tomorrow. School starts at 8 o'clock, ends at 3 for those who are staying all day. Carpool begins at 7:20. And tomorrow, this is the one exception we make all year long. Tomorrow at 7:20, we'll open the front doors of the school, and everyone will come in the front doors and go right to their classrooms at 7:20 in the morning. So if you want to walk your scholar in, I suggest that you get there early and make sure you find a parking space. Walk your scholar into the right location or locations, depending if you have multiple scholars, and then make your way back out and into your car and then out of the parking lot. We expect heavy traffic in the morning, both on 220, in and around the stoplight, on and around the corner, and inside our own parking lot. I promise you we'll get better, as we've said previously in our carpool meeting a week ago. You can watch that video if you like. And I promise you tomorrow will be very, very hectic, both in the morning and in the afternoon. So keep that in mind. School will start at 8. We do not count tardies the first few days of school as we get used to the new routine, get used to the new way we're doing things, the new school year. We give some grace, and we'll start counting lateness and tardies next week at some point. A couple of important things to be reminded of is to make sure, and I forgot to bring mine with me again, that you're using the green carpool drive line sign in the afternoons when you come and pick up. We will eventually, I know if you're an existing family, you will probably have the same carpool number. So we've had orange cards and blue cards. We try to change them every year. But if you're new, you only have the green one. But if you're an existing family, people will try to come in with their orange one or the blue one, and we'll eventually get to the point where we'll no longer accept them. And if you come in the afternoon with the wrong card or without your card or without your number, we'll make you pull around park, walk inside to the office to show the proper identification and pick up your child. So keep that in mind. That's a couple of mistakes people make early on in the school year. But if you're a brand new family, you only have that one green card. So we'll promise we will make you all of the driveline car signs you need. So if you pick up and grandma or grandpa or babysitter or someone else picks up for you, we'll make as many of those cards as you need in the right color. You just need to let us know. You should have received that handout at some point, hopefully last night, that shows the little way that you can scan in and order a new carpool sign if you need it. So keep that in mind. A couple of things that I know that new families, I want to say, struggle with a little bit on the first day is the amount of people. Lots of people like to walk our children in first thing, and both existing and new. And so there will be a lot of movement in and around the school coming in and out. So it's really helpful if you come in, drop off, and then make your way out and out of the parking lot, so it'll free up parking spaces and space in our parking lot. There will be a lot of movement, a lot of people on the go in the morning. The earlier you come, the better. The earlier you get to school, the better you will be The quicker you can move through carpool, easier you get in and out of the school. But don't judge us tomorrow. Don't judge us tomorrow. I promise you it'll get better. Tomorrow morning especially will be really, really hectic. Tomorrow afternoon will be a little better. So just keep that in mind. What I'm going to do, again, this is all about your questions and things that you might want to know. I have some previously submitted questions through our Google form, and I'm going to pull those up and kind of go through them one at a time. If you have a question that those don't address, feel free to type it in the chat, and I will read out those questions. So that's our simple agenda this morning. Just some reminders about the first day, and then hopefully get your questions answered so you're ready to go tomorrow. So I'm going to start with the ones that were previously submitted by using our Google form. I'll go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these questions. But if one comes up or something I say here spurs another question, type it into the chat box. So after I cover these, I'll come back, look at the chat box, and we'll go through those questions. First question, do all grade levels eat lunch in the gym? Well, that's a very simple answer because none of our grade levels eat lunch in the gym. All of our grade levels eat in their classrooms. And so they will come to the gym if you're buying food or if you're part of the free and reduced lunch program or you're getting food, you will come to the gym, pick up your lunch, and then go back to your classroom to eat. So right now, all of our grade levels and students eat in their classroom. So there's nobody eating lunch in the gym. We serve lunch from the gym because it's a whole new system. Hopefully you got that email yesterday about lunch and how to sign up for lunch. Since we're talking a little bit about lunch here, one thing that there's a lot of different things about lunch this year that you won't necessarily know as a new family, but there's a completely different company doing our lunch. It's going to be presented to our students in a completely different style. It's all new and how we're going to do it. One thing that is really new or different this year is that last school year, the U.S. government granted everyone access to free and reduced lunch. So you didn't have to apply. It was just food. If you wanted it, you could have it. That's no longer the case. So if you wanted to order lunch through that SLA program, you saw the email yesterday. You have to create an account. You have to purchase lunch. If you have a need to be a part of the free and reduced lunch program, you must make that application. In fact, we try our best to get applications from everybody in the school so that we can see whether or not you might need it. And we're happy to help provide that if you do. So keep that in mind. If you want to purchase the lunch option, you can. If you have a need for free and reduced lunch, make sure you complete that application. Even if you don't complete the application or put that it's not applicable to you and get it back to us so that we can know that that's something that you don't need. But we do want to supply that for everybody who does. So that's how lunch happens. It's in your classroom. But again, we've got a whole new lunch system that starts in the gym tomorrow. We're going to need to learn that. We're anticipating lunch being a little more hectic than it has been in the past until we learn the new system and get into the new system. And we've got a lot of great people here that are going to work it for us, but keep that in mind about lunch. But no one eats lunch in the gym. Everyone eats in their classroom. Question number 2 that I have. What's the time frame for early kindergarten pickup? Do we drive around the traffic circle or just turn left in front of the building? Normally, you can just turn left in front of the building. I believe pickup time is 1:30. If you're coming early, 1 o'clock. 1:30 is the old pickup time. I have 2 schedules in my head. It's 2 hours before school ends, and you're going to enter the same way because we're going to have cones up there where you come into the school parking lot tomorrow. You have to bear to the right or plow through our cones. Please don't do that. You'll bear to the right. You'll have to go to the right, and there will be a kindergarten carpool early pickup time right there on the sidewalk. So keep that in mind. If you have more specific questions, send that to your kindergarten teacher. They are the ones who work their carpool time. but most likely you'll be able to take a right in front of the school. However, sometimes it does get backed up and you have to loop all the way around and kind of follow what our morning and afternoon carpool times are like, because we have more people in front of the school than we can house. So keep that in mind. Tomorrow will be a little more hectic again, so just be patient. You might want to come early so that you're ready to go. And in the parking lot, we will have lots more help outside for you tomorrow as well. Next question. On the first day, if you want to walk your child in and don't find a parking space on your first pass, do you completely leave the property and loop back around 220, or re-enter and try again? You shouldn't have to loop all the way around. You'll see that probably at some spots tomorrow there's parking that is not in a parking space that people will utilize. You can utilize that. You're able to loop back around in our parking lot without entering 220. So look for that opportunity as you come all the way up back towards our stop sign where you would turn right on the 220. You should be able to take a left and loop back into the parking lot. But again, traffic's going to be very heavy, very hectic. So we really encourage people who want to walk in, get there early. If you try to find a parking space at 7:50, it's going to be really hard. So come early if you want to walk your scholar in. That's the best advice I can give you, especially tomorrow. Now, tomorrow we make that provision. Everybody walks in the front door at 7:20. On Thursday, the front doors won't open until 7:40, so you can't walk your child into their classroom until 7:40. So that's when we'll start encouraging everyone to use our normal corporal procedure. At 7:20 to 7:40, students will enter the gym. That starts on Thursday, but tomorrow we're allowing everybody to come in. So you don't have to get back on 220. There will be places in the parking lot, but please come early, and that's your best opportunity to find a parking space. Either one thing our staff will do, weather permitting, we will park down on the ball field, down on our field, to free up all the parking spaces we can for our parents tomorrow morning. So we'll do our best. We'll do our best. But sometimes you may have to take a loop, especially if you come a little later. So just keep that in mind. Can I share the kindergarten daily schedule? I don't have a copy of it to share with you. Should have gotten a copy of that with your teacher yesterday. It'd probably be best to contact your teacher. They can send you an exact copy of what their plan for the day is, with minutes and times. I don't have that with me right now to send to you. So we can contact your teacher. That would be your best way to get that exact schedule. Hopefully you got it last night at open house, but if not, contact your kindergarten teacher. They should be able to get you that exact schedule. If I had one with me, or one I could project up there for you, I would, but I don't. So check in with your teacher on that and go from there. I can share a more generalized schedule where here's ELA time, here's math time, here's science and social studies time, but they would be able to they're going to have a schedule that breaks it down more specifically than that. How is class participation evaluated in the case of a very anxious and or shy scholar? Class participation is ranked out in multiple different ways. We definitely take into account the personality of the scholar, whether they speak up a lot or not speak up as much as we'd like. You can participate by working with your groups, or you're participating by doing the classwork that's assigned to you during class participation time. Class participation always goes towards being prepared. You've got everything you need. So there's things that, say, a shy student who doesn't speak up a lot can definitely show that they're participating in class. And we definitely keep that in mind for individuals with different needs and different personality types. So our teachers take that into account when working with that grade. But again, there's ways you can show yourself participating without, necessarily continuing to answer questions or making comments and things like that. That you're prepared, you've got your book out, you're following along with the examples. All of those type of things shows class participation. That's all of the questions that were submitted by people that we haven't answered. So again, no great big long agenda today. I want to know what is on your mind and what are you thinking about as we prepare for the start of school tomorrow. So I see a couple in the chat box, so I'm going to read those out and keep going here. Do students need to bring a lock for lockers? No, they do not. We do not put locks on our lockers. We feel like our students need to be good citizens, honest, and we don't put locks on our lockers. That being said, I wouldn't bring valuable things to store in my locker either, because if you're bringing something that's very valuable and you stick it in your locker, I would keep the things I need for school in my locker, and that's it. So no, they do not need to bring a lock for their lockers. Let's see here, Katie. I want to say thank you for how organized everything has been. Oh, good. As a new parent, family, you and your teams have made this new transition much more bearable for us. Well, thank you very much, Katie. It's a very nice compliment. That's very much what we're trying to do as a staff, and to ease that transition. I know what it's like. I have 4 children myself, and I walked all 4 of them to their first day of kindergarten. And for 2 of them, I was working at the school when I walked them down the hall to kindergarten. It was still, a monumental moment in their lives, even though my son had been at the school a lot. He was my youngest, and he was at the school a lot. And I was like, "No, Dad, I know where to go." And I'm like, "No, this is a dad thing. I'm walking you down there to your class." So I know how hard that is to get that started. So thank you for choosing us. We take this partnership very seriously, that you're granting us a partnership with you and your family. So we're excited to serve you. What else is on your mind heading into tomorrow? Again, I don't have an agenda today. You've got a lot of information yesterday. We've had 2 long meetings where we've gone over lots of things here in the parent in our Tuesday at 10 meetings. And you can watch those recorded sessions, and even this will be up as a recorded session later today. But I want to make sure I'm serving your needs and having the questions that you might have heading into tomorrow on the first day of school. So no question is too small or too hard. Even if I can't answer it, I can go find someone who could get us an answer and get back to you. So we're really looking forward to tomorrow. We've done a lot of preparation. We have a great staff all ready to go. And we're going to enjoy a little bit more time together today and finish off our preparations and be ready for you in the morning. Any other questions from the chat box? I really don't want to, we won't belabor our time together this morning because everyone's very, we've got a lot to do and ready to go. Current plans for the high school. That's a great question. Here's what I can tell you about the high school. Not a lot right now. I can tell you that we have purchased property basically across the street from where we are now. And the intent is to build a high school there. Original plans even possibly had the high school opening up this school year, but we've encountered a lot of delays, a lot of increase in cost, even shortages in building materials, all of that type of thing to try to get it completed or even get it started. So there is not an exact timeline on the high school. There is still an intent. There is property purchased. There are studies being conducted about how to get it built and when it can start. And so it's not that we have not abandoned the high school idea, but we're trying to very carefully plan through the next steps so we make sure we get them right. I wish I had a better answer. I wish I had a better timeline for you. I don't right now. Maybe we'll learn. Hopefully, we'll learn more as school gets started, and we can start concentrating on other things besides kind of getting the front doors open for the first day of school. But that's currently everything I know about our plans for high school. It's still in the planning stages. If you have a question or thought, enter it there in the chat box. I'll be glad to try and answer it. But again, this is about trying to serve your needs for tomorrow morning and the days following. And I just want to have a good time with you to broach whatever questions you may have. And thankfully, we had some prepared questions that people had put in our Google form. We plan to do these about once a month. And of course, they'll be open to all of our school family. And we also have, not every month, but we're bringing back what we call our Parent Academy. We're excited about that. We're going to get together in September, October, and November. A couple of them will be online like this. And we plan at least to try to do one in person. They will be topics that relate directly to our parents. We'll have a presentation on school safety in September. All this information will be coming out this week as we send it out to you. In October, right now, the plan is to do online internet safety and have a visit from some people in law enforcement and working on that thing. So we are going to hopefully empower you as parents as well as the school goes on with the information that keeps you informed and helps you at home with being a part of our Parent Academy. That's kind of coming back from when we were in COVID. In fact, one of the very last things we did way back in 2020 in March on a Thursday night, we had a parent meeting that discussed internet and online safety for scholars. And that was a part of our Parent Academy. That was on Thursday night. On Friday, we sent everybody home, making sure that everybody took all of their stuff home, and school got canceled for the rest of the school year on Saturday. So we're happy. We're looking forward to bringing that back this school year. Any other questions that you may have? You may have prepared or have a thought. Feel free to give it. I'll give it another minute or two there in chat. This is all I wanted to do today, to see what questions you have. I hope you got to be at open house last night, meet teachers and whatnot. If you didn't, we'll take care of you tomorrow morning when you come, and make sure you get to the right place and into the right teachers, and get your school year off to a great start. I'm going to give it one more minute. Mr. Myers, do you have a question?
Yes, Principal Swafford. Of course, thank y'all so much for what you do for our children and our community. Mm-hmm. Starting kindergarten, son is ADHD. Is there a process or an evaluation, or I believe y'all have a professional that'll be on site that is versed in working with teachers and students that have particular special needs or are just issues that need to be developed. In our case, doctor has diagnosed mild. We're not going to do therapy or medications. We're going to see how it goes for 1, 2, 3 months. Will our child be, I don't know, y'all are aware of it? Will they be monitored? Will we sit down? Will there be interviews? Who do I talk to?
Your teacher. Your teacher is your very first point of impact. Almost in every single discussion, you'd go to your teachers, make sure they're aware of whatever challenges your son might have.
That's done.
Yeah, that's where you would start. We have a complete process where, if needed, we have professionals in the building. We have a way to study students if needed. We certainly work with students with ADHD all the time. A lot of our staff members, and there are a lot of students here that have ADHD that have no further assistance, that don't need further evaluation or any part. It's just kind of a part of who they are, and we deal with it individually and as a school, but they don't need necessarily extra assistance or extra evaluations. It all just depends on the student, but we're fully prepared. We got a full exceptional children staff, 3 teachers, and school psychologists that's worked with us. So we're fully prepared to make whatever type of studies on a student we might need to do. But the main thing you do right now to start the school year would be to make sure your teacher is aware, and that they'll watch and monitor and give you feedback about your son, and then we'll take it from wherever that feedback might lead us.
And if we were want to request a report from the psychologist with the teacher psychologist conference, that would go through their office.
No, it would go through the school.
Okay.
Again, your first point of contact is your teacher, and if he needs further evaluation, and we do need to involve the school psychologist, that report would be made available to you through the school. There would be meetings and things like that. But first start right now, I would say monitor and get feedback from your teacher, and then see where that feedback kind of leads us.
Excellent. Thank you. And I hope everyone has a great start to a great new year.
All right. Thank you. Let's see here. A couple of other questions. Where can I find the recorded call from last week? We sent out links last week. I'll send out a link for the recorded version of this, and I'll on that link is the YouTube page that has the other videos on it there. But I'll probably send out for you a link. And while I'm talking, what I will do is see if I can pull it up right now, and I'll put a link in chat for you to last week's meeting. All right. Give me 1 second, and it'll be right here in chat. There's the link for last week's carpool discussion video. A lot longer than this one will be. I'll give us one more minute to like 10:30. If you have any other questions, feel free to type them in chat there, and I'll answer them. If not, we'll just kind of end our call a little earlier than normal, than we have been. Again, look for times. We'll do Tuesday at 10 over the course of the school year, inviting all of our parents to come. We'll have our parent academy starting up. More information will come out this week, probably towards Friday when I send out my principal word, the first one of the school year going, and updating you on times and dates and things that we do things like this. Again, point contact number 1 is going to be your classroom teacher, and they have a wealth of information. They're the most important people in the building, and they'll be really glad to help you out, and we'll get you started. So I don't see any more questions, so I'm just going to kind of end our time here. You can still submit questions on that Google form if you like. But again, we're really looking forward to seeing you in the morning. Be patient. Come early. I promise you carpool will get better, and it really will improve. And next week, when you start coming and going from school, you'll go, wow, he was right. This is so much better. It's gotten so much better. It will, I promise. You'll get over the carpool line the drive line, and it'll really dramatically improve. But come early tomorrow, come a little later tomorrow afternoon. You'll miss more of the traffic. Tomorrow afternoon will be slow. It will take a while, probably closer to 4 o'clock about 3:45, 3:50. If we can get it done in less than an hour tomorrow, that will be a great goal. And then we'll get it less than 45 minutes, and then we'll get it into about 40 to 35 minutes when we're done, start to finish. So just keep that in mind. Come in tomorrow with a smile on your face. Enjoy the first day of school. It's always tremendous. We're looking forward to a great start to our school year. And thank you for joining us, coming in new. And I promise we'll be ready to go in the morning and take care of you. So look forward to seeing you then. Again, if you have any other questions, reach out to your classroom teacher. They'll be more than glad to help you and make sure you're ready to go for the start of a great school year. So thank you for coming to Tuesday at 10. I'm going to close this out now. And we look forward to seeing you in the morning. So have a great night.
Thank you, Mr. Swapper.
Yes. Have a great